Everybody, welcome to the Lion's Den. We're going to do a quick episode. It's just going to be me. I'm going to go over someone's tweet from yesterday. There's 12 points for why he's not Orthodox. Before we get into it, it's so you guys know the background. It's a reply to, I think, an ex-Muslim who's now inquiring into Christianity. And in the comments on that video, I saw there's an Assyrian sister who, I don't remember what the username was, but she apparently became evangelical. And I just want to say for all our Assyrian people, Syriac, Aramaean people, Chaldean people, whatever you call yourself, Suraye, Suryoye people. The tradition that you have received from the apostles, your ancestors received it. Jesus through St. Peter, the apostles, to Mar ad-Day, and in Mesopotamia, in Aramaic, in our language. This is direct to you, no translation necessary. The traditions, the doctrine, you received it directly. Why would you leave this? Why would you leave it and go to this modern stuff from the Khwari? For what? Please rethink that, sister, and all of my Suraya people who are watching, please keep this in mind, that you have this 2,000-year-old faith continuity. The Magi were our people. Using the astrology of the old religion, they found the Messiah, the one true God. Whereas the Jews who had the prophecies didn't recognize him. Okay. Hey guys, Isho, Sicilianus, I think I remember you from when I had Twitter, right? Anyway, let's get started. So today's Wednesday, we're fasting. It's called Gahwa Shagra. It's blonde Arabic coffee from the Arabian Peninsula. The reason why it's yellow or blondish is not because it has any milk or anything, but because it has saffron and cardamom. Okay, let's do it. Let me show you guys the tweet first. So the reason why we're against this kind of stuff, we're against astrology, we're against magic, we're against all of that, is because it's real. That's why we're against it. It's from the other team, right? We don't play with that stuff. The coffee cup reading and the eye and whatever else. I don't know, like Western superstition and all that. I just know what is in the Middle Eastern community, and yeah, that's why we don't touch that stuff. Okay, let's do it. All right, here it is. You guys can see it. So the Precision Apologetics, Roman Catholic. Um, 12 reasons I'm not Orthodox. Orthodox allow 3 divorces and 3 remarriages. This promotes divorce. Okay, let's do the first one. Uh, what is promoting divorce? First of all, I never even heard of the divorce, 3 remarriage. I'm Syriac Orthodox. I'm a subdeacon, as far as I know. Um, marriage is only permitted one time, and a remarriage wasn't really. It's not really a re. Thank you, Anne. It's not really a remarriage. It's a marriage. Um, it can only happen after an annulment. Uh, so I'm not sure where he's getting this information. And I would also say, because Orthodoxy is Eastern, so maybe the words, like, you can go to a priest or like a Middle Eastern priest or something, and then he might use the words interchangeably, but you'd really have to look into the canons to know for sure, um, just because of a language thing. Okay, yeah, you guys are saying you don't think he was critiquing Oriental Orthodoxy is an EO thing. He's talking about Eastern. Okay, all right, that's fine. Um, All right, we'll talk about it from the Oriental Orthodox perspective. It's an Oriental Orthodox reply to the 12 points, because whoever the ex-Muslim inquirer is, we'd want him anyway too, right? Uh, so let me see here. There was something else I saw I wanted to reply to in the comments. Um, I don't know. I don't see it now. Anyways, so besides the language barrier, so you're gonna have to make it clear to whoever you're asking from our clergy or bishops that you have to define annulment and you have to define divorce, because there might be a language thing where they're using them interchangeably or whatever. They would just think that's what you guys mean. That's one thing. Another thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the comments or anything, by far, by far, the percentage of divorced Oriental Orthodox is much less than Roman Catholic. And I'm saying percentage because we know the numbers of the communions are there's a huge difference, right? There's like 1 billion Catholics and there's like 100 million Orthodox. So you so if we just use percentage of the communions, just that, the divorce rate within Oriental Orthodoxy is much lower. It's not even close, actually. Okay, so let's go to the second point. No keys to the kingdom of heaven. Well, um, I don't know. It seems like I have to keep repeating this about Alexandria, Antioch being between seas. Um, like it was Pope Saint Damasus who said that. And I think even after the schism, Pope Gregory of Rome, and there were others. So I'm not sure why he's saying that they don't have the keys. Peter gave the keys to his successors, and they continue. If there's no keys to the kingdom, then how does the Roman Catholic Communion say that our orders are valid? The only way orders can be valid is if there's keys. Okay, disobedient to Christ through the Pope. Well, then, so he's saying that he's not Orthodox because he believes in the papacy. That makes sense. We don't believe in the doctrines, the papal doctrines. So it wouldn't. We'd have to go against our conscience to accept those. Because let me know who said the quote. Orthodoxy is that which was taught everywhere by everyone, right? So where were the papal doctrines taught by everyone at all times? So let's say I'm Syriac Orthodox, for example. In the Syriac tradition, before in the first 400 years, whatever you want to say, because you want to go to before with the break. Where did anyone come and tell us about the Bishop of Rome? Did Saint Ephrem mention the Bishop of Rome? Did Saint Jacob of Nisibis or Saint Aphrahat or any of that time period of Syriac tradition? And Syriac tradition is not small. Like there's Latin, Greek, Syriac. Those are the three big ones from the early time. So where is it? Where is it that is saying to us when they tell us about the Eucharist, they tell us about Christology, they tell us about the Trinity, they tell us about the sacraments, the priesthood, intercession of saints, Mother Mary, all that stuff, devotions, fasting, all that stuff is there. What about the de fide of anything regarding the Bishop of Rome? How come that wasn't received by us in our neck of the woods? Shouldn't you read the Syriacs in line with Western Christianity before Chalcedon? Okay. Can you expand on that? What do you mean? Okay, next point. Orthodox allowed women's ordination. Oh, that's for sure talking about EOs. Yeah, we disagree with that big time. There was that woman deacon in Africa, right? I think who did it? The Greeks. Yeah, I'm not concerned with the Eastern Chalcedonians. I'm talking about the Apostolic Orthodox. Okay. No Eucharistic miracles. We have one. We have many. And there's one actually in modern times, and it's recorded on YouTube if you see it. There's a Coptic priest, I think, priest or a bishop, and Mother Mary appeared to him. Mother Mary appeared to him and told him that this is going to be his last liturgy that he presides because he's going to repose. So, as he's presiding over the liturgy, and he's offering the Eucharist, he falls down. And he dies. And the Eucharist is in his hand, so it's going to fall with him. And you see this even in the video. A hand appears, and it catches the Eucharist and puts it back onto the altar. And this is something that most of us know about. It has videos about it on YouTube, and there's a lot of documentation about this. I think the claims before Chalcedon in the West are very clear about the necessity of the Episcopal Cathedral in Rome. Okay, that's fair. No problem. That's a fair argument and we could have a conversation about it. But my question to you is, if something is clear in one part of the world, if it's Catholic, meaning it's universal, shouldn't it have been clear in all of Christendom? Like, shouldn't the Syriacs have known about it? That's my question. All right. Okay, the next one. Claim all bishops equal, then elect patriarch. Isn't that what the Latins do too? Like the cardinals are equal and then they elect the pope? I'm not sure what the problem is there. Moscow and Constantinople and schism. Disobeying Nicene Creed. Yeah, agreed. The EOs, they're wrong. Okay. Accepted Council of Florence. Um, Before God and man, which reunited the Orthodox and Catholic Church and went back on their word and going against Christ's prayer to be one. We never accepted Florence. I don't know about the EOs, what happened with them. I'm not sure. But we didn't accept. But let me go back to 7 real quick. I'm pretty sure, like what is just mentioned by, where is it? John the Orthodox. The Constantinople one period. At this time, there were it doesn't I'm not I don't mean exactly the year 381, but around this time period, there were Orthodox sees that were not in communion with each other. Rome being one of them, Antioch being one of them. So in this time, uh, it happens. It happens where sees are not always in communion, but they're both Orthodox. It's happened at multiple times in history. Right now, I mean, I'm me being Oriental Orthodox. Obviously, I don't believe Moscow or Constantinople are in that standing, but I just don't think it's a good point for his discerning of where truth is. So again, and number 8 for us, as far as we're concerned, we never accepted Florence. Um, 9, apostles remain in communion with Peter. Orthodox did not. We have Peter. Peter is the successor in Antioch, His Holiness Mar Ephraim II. And also he is Pope Tawadros II of Alexandria. So Peter is the rock on which the church is built. Orthodox not in communion with the rock on which the church is built. You're going to have to show that this is exclusive to Rome, because we don't understand why, and we don't see why that would be the case. And you're going to have to show that to us from our fathers. So, because it's the universal faith, it's not just a local faith in Italy or Spain or France. See, you have uh, in the Synod of 424 in the Church of the East, you have very high Petrine language there about their own patriarch, higher than I've seen anything in the West at that period of time and earlier. Each region will talk about its prelate that way, but you would have to show why the Roman one has a unique universal position according to the others, not according to the locals under his direct jurisdiction. Um, what about the Armenians and Pope Eugene the Fourth? Pope Eugene the Fourth. What was the time period on that? 15th century, so around that time. As far as I know, the Armenians didn't. There, I mean, obviously, there's Armenian Catholics, a little bit of them, but even the Armenians, for the most part, were not in communion with Rome. Didn't accept anything on an official basis. I mean, I'm not Armenian, but we can have an Armenian to come in and talk about this. It's not the same, because the Malankara are under the patriarch. So It's like you have a patriarch and you have a part of his jurisdiction that rebelled against him. That's what it is. It's not two patriarchs who are not in communion with each other. So it's a little bit different. You always have St. Peter as well. Why does Antioch have papal supremacy? Because we don't believe in papal supremacy. So we believe that the patriarch has universal jurisdiction over his jurisdiction. So Pope Tawadros, for example, doesn't have jurisdiction over Antioch, and His Holiness Patriarch Ephraim doesn't have jurisdiction over Alexandria. Like he doesn't have jurisdiction over the Copts don't have jurisdiction over us, and vice versa. With the Armenians or whoever else. That's the situation. It's, in a sense, you could say they all have supremacy because they have supremacy over their own jurisdictions, but they don't have supremacy over each other. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. I agree. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Robert. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. They should be able to prove from Alexandrian Syriac fathers that only the Bishop of Rome sits on the chair and has the keys. Right. Because it's the primitive Catholic faith. So then it should be everywhere, and it should be said by everyone. Just like they said everything else. They said again about sacraments, about priesthood, about the everything else in the faith. They said. How come this they didn't? All right. Um, allows contraception. No, we don't. That's easy. Do not believe in purgatory. Well, we believe in purification after death. Habibi, we're not setting anyone against anyone, but we're just telling you if something is the universal faith, it should be taught by everyone everywhere. That's all. How else are we expected to know about it? The Western stuff didn't come to us. Augustine is not even canonized in the Syriac Church. We never even heard of him until the Dominicans came and made the Syriac Catholics in the Middle East. We don't even know what was going on over there. Like, what is the expectation? How are we supposed to know? The world wasn't this small back then. There were no phones or emails or anything. Let me talk about purification after death. So we for sure believe in it. We pray for the departed. I've done many shows with my brother William Albrecht about this. There's nothing that we disagree on when it comes to that topic. We just don't use the name. I don't know. It's just like a nominal thing, but we believe in everything that I've said. We believe in. William agreed with me, and everything he said, I agreed with him. So I don't think this is an issue at all. The praying for the departed, purification after death, not at all. Yeah, same. Hell full of grace. I agree with you. I love doing the videos with William. I think we have one coming up on Zaytun. We keep pushing it back. Um, it's not just Augustine. I know. I'm just using him as an example. And yes, he is venerated in the Coptic Church, but he was added very very recently in order to promote ecumenical dialogue between the two sides. But he wasn't in their thing um, for most of their history. Is there even an actual mention of the Bishop of Rome in early Syriac Christianity in general? The ones that I've found, and I've recommended them to Subdeacon Stefan Girgis of the Maronite Church to look into in my other video. They are from the martyrdom stories of Edessa and and the Doctrine of Ed Day and the Acts of Mari, I think, where it talks about um, the union essentially between Antioch and Rome, and then the reception of orders from St. Peter, where someone had to go from Antioch to receive orders from Rome because of the Petrine succession that Antioch or natively has, but because of someone died or something, so they weren't able to give orders to the next one, so he had to go to Rome to get it, something like this. But this is only stuff that I've seen. Great question. I think it's in the works. I talked to George Kiraz, if you guys know who that is, Gorgias Press, about this about 7 years ago, and he told me they were working on it. So hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Up to you. Don't hold your breath. Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns? I didn't want to make a long one today because our other ones are always long. So I think it's good to have short ones sometimes. As a visiting cat bugs me that he just said Orthodox, probably says Oriental Eastern, even though both words, I know, tell me about it. It bothers me, the whole naming convention in general in the West. Like, nobody calls themselves whatever they want to call themselves. It's like the British have to decide what everybody's named. It's annoying. Didn't Saint Basilius call the Roman Pope many times prideful and hairy? I remember appealing to Saint Athanasius. I know Saint Basil. I think he was trying to convince the Bishop of Rome and even Saint Athanasius to go into communion with Meletius of Antioch. And the stuff he says about Meletius is a big deal, by the way. Yeah, I would do that. Sure, no problem, Jason. So this is called the Supplication of Saint Jacob. It's at the end of the Friday Ramsho, the Friday Vespers. Borutho de Mor Yaakov. That's where you could find it. I've posted the translation many times on other videos. That's correct. He did. So my question to my Roman Catholic brothers and sisters is, I would like someone who was not under Roman jurisdiction, direct Roman jurisdiction, to say that. That's what I'm asking, because Saint Irenaeus was the Bishop of Lyon in France, so he's under Rome. So my question is, where can I find, for example, Syriac saints who say things like this, or Coptic, Alexandrian, Armenian, or Church of the East, Georgian? Show me something like that. Ethiopian. So where I was talking about with this stuff about Pope Eugene, there is a certain letter from the Armenian delegation. It is mentioned in Joseph Gill, his book. Okay. Thank you, brother. Anything else, you guys? We're done. Khlislan? Okay, like, subscribe, share, and we'll do more in the future. Take care, everybody. God bless you.
لا تحوم يكون وزمان شاء